Welcome back, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Chrissy Teigen and Courtney Stodden. Now, if you're unfamiliar, there's a scandal. You should not bully. Chrissy Teigen, when she was 26 years old, bullied 16-year-old Courtney Stodden, who was in a very bad situation at that time, a grooming situation, and the things that were said, well, they were not good. We're going to be getting into that today. So if you're unfamiliar, Google says Chrissy Teigen is an American model and television personality. She made a professional modeling debut in the annual Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue 2010. She's currently 35 years old and married to John Legend. Before we get into today's video, I do want to give a shout out to Sloan and Ready to Glare. They're the ones that I first saw talking about this situation. I'm going to put their videos in the pinned comment. And while you're at it and you have a YouTube account and all, consider donating to my fundraiser for RAIN to help survivors in difficult situations. It should be to the right on desktop, below me on mobile, and all I'm asking for is $1. We're over 64% of the way there to our 10,000 goal, and I'm very, very proud of everybody in the community for making this happen. Back to the video. Chrissy Teigen is currently in the news, taking a lot of heat. Brands are starting to drop her. It looks like Macy's dropped her cookware line, and for good reason. The things that she said, it went beyond. Like, she was telling this 16-year-old girl that she needed to off herself, that she didn't need to be here. Like, 26-year-old Chrissy Teigen was saying the worst of the worst things that you could say to somebody, and to a minor, and a minor that was a victim of terrible things. So the first thing I want to correct for everybody is that Courtney Stodden is now 26 years old and identifies as non-binary, uses they, them pronouns. So for the duration of this video and any other video I do cover on the topic, I will be referring to Stodden as they, them. One of the first things we need to talk about is this guy right here. This is Doug Hutchison. Doug Hutchison was born in 1960. He's currently 60 years old. He's an American character actor known for playing disturbing and antagonistic characters. You may remember him from The Green Mile. Doug taught an internet acting workshop where would-be actors would sign up and he would teach them how to be better actors. There were various different girls and guys of varying different ages. One of these were Courtney Stodden. On the recommendation of a friend who worked in Hollywood and knew Hutchison, who did not realize that they were a minor, began a courtship with them over the internet that lasted between 4 and 6 months. Keep in mind, there's clearly details that we're missing here, but 4 to 6 months is a long time to not know that this person is a minor. During this time, they fell in love before having met in person. After Hutchison became aware of Stodden's age, he told their mother, Krista, who had monitored their online exchanges and was aware of their relationship and their age difference. He told the mom that he would cease the relationship if they disapproved. That in itself is, it's difficult for me to understand how a mother would be okay with their 16-year-old daughter signing up for an acting class where the instructor wants to have a romantic relationship. There's multiple different things that are wrong with that. It is illegal in many states for somebody to be in a position of power like that, to have any type of a relationship, let alone romantic relationship, with somebody that is under the age of 18. So I don't know how this dude did not get in trouble for that. On May 20th, 2011, Stodden married Hutchison in Las Vegas, Nevada. Stodden was his third wife. Their relationship drew controversy and criticism as Stodden was 16 when they married a 50-year-old Hutchison, who was labeled a person that takes advantage of children. As a result of this seemingly illegal relationship, Hutchison's agent quit, his family disowned him, and he received death threats nearly daily. November 1st, 2013, the media reported that Stodden and Hutchison were ending their marriage of 2.5 years. Stodden later told Fox News that their 34-year age gap was primarily the contributing factor to their divorce, although in August 2014 they reconciled and renewed their wedding vows. They finally separated and divorced officially March 2020, where Stodden announced this on their Instagram. I'm not really surprised about the relationship ever ending because of the 34-year age gap. You would think that Doug probably had nothing in common with the 16-year-old. Like, Stodden being only 16 years old had barely scratched the surface of experience in life, where Doug, being 50 years old, he'd done been through it. He knew every play in the book. He has experienced the experience that you need in life to make important decisions. So him even putting Stodden in this type of position, you could see where the criticism was coming from. It was not a good situation. But during this time, when all the criticism was happening, you would think that all criticism would go towards Doug for being this creepy dude. Only Chrissy Teigen, this is where Chrissy Teigen comes in, she put all force and effort towards Stodden, the 16-year-old. I have no idea why, but the things that they said to them, well, they were really dirty. Chrissy Teigen would say things like, "I hate you. My Friday fantasy, you dirt nap, baby. Go to sleep forever. What drug makes you do that with your mouth, asking for a friend who really wants to know how to look like an idiot? Thanks. Do you have a family?" Saying Courtney Stodden's Facebook page got shut down for being too sexy is like saying "we're just meanies," as in not quite. That's offensive in a lot of ways. But it didn't stop with public displays of ignorant tweets and insensitive wording. Stodden told Daily Beast Teigen wouldn't just publicly tweet about me wanting to take a dirt nap, but would privately DM me and tell me to myself things like, "I can't wait for you to die." I think there's a difference between publicly tweeting things as if to be a troll and to try to just get attention, which is difficult for me to even say since Chrissy wasn't a kid back then. She was 26 years old. She was a full-grown adult. So she was taking it to full-on maliciousness. So when the world found out that Chrissy Teigen did these things and bullied this 16-year-old minor, she issued an apology. Let's check that out. Published May 12th, not a lot of people are lucky enough to be held accountable for all of their past BS in front of the entire world. I'm mortified and sad at who I used to be. I was an insecure, attention-seeking troll, and I'm ashamed and completely embarrassed at my behavior. It's nothing compared to how I made Courtney feel. I've worked so hard to give you guys joy and be beloved, and the feeling of letting you down is nearly unbearable. Truly, these were not my only mistakes and surely won't be my last as hard as I try, but God, I will try. I've tried to connect to Courtney privately, but since I publicly fueled all this, I want to also publicly apologize. I'm so sorry, Courtney. I hope you can heal now, knowing how deeply sorry I am. And I am sorry I let you guys down. I will forever work on being better than I was 10 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. One user says this is horrifying and disappointing. So nice of your followers to accept an apology that isn't theirs to accept because they weren't the ones you tried to bully to... And I do 100% agree with that. I feel like this is something that shouldn't have went public first. I think she should have talked to Courtney behind the scenes, even though she says she tried to do that. I don't know if she tried too hard. Courtney Stodden tweeted this, showing Chrissy Teigen has her blocked on Twitter. In an Instagram post, she says, "I accept her apology and forgive her, but the truth remains the same. I have never heard from her or her camp in private. In fact, she blocked me on Twitter. All of me wants to believe this is a sincere apology, but it feels like a public attempt to save her partnerships with Target and other brands who are realizing her wokeness is a broken record." One user says, "The fact that you are blocked from directly reading the apology that is supposed to be meant for you tells me a lot." There's something I want to talk about and I don't see a lot of people talking about. It's the article from the Daily Beast. There's an interview question in there that I'm about to read. And I'm going to put this article as well as other videos in the pinned comment for you guys to check out. It says, "What took so long to get the divorce finalized? Was he fighting you over money?" She says it was a lot of things, but mainly it was that I was still being groomed. It took me a really long time to understand what grooming even meant, because if you would have asked me what grooming meant when I married Doug, I would have said, "Take your dog to the groomers?" I didn't know what it meant. But as I grew into a woman, I started realizing what happened to me. I didn't wake up to it until he ended up leaving to Michigan while I stayed in West Hollywood. I was over the relationship and wanted to move on, but when he left, I was terrified to be on my own. I didn't know how to be on my own. I still don't have a license. I depended so much on him, and he knew that. So when he left, it was almost a manipulative way of going, okay, let's see if you can survive without me here. Thankfully, I have. And I am still surviving without him. Even through the pandemic, it took me a really, really long time to understand what happened to me, and I'm still going through the repercussions of being groomed. And it really is sad that this happened because she was such a young girl. She wasn't able to have the normal experiences of growing up and making decisions for yourself and figuring out when tough situations happen and how to deal with those. That's one of the impacts that grooming can have on someone. So my heart goes out to her, and I'm glad that she's out of it now. And I want to get some positivity turtles in the chat for Courtney, so I'm going to look in the chat, and I will be there. Walls and walls of positivity turtles. I expect to see them there. And as interesting as this is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go leave your creative and interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes as always, brothers and sisters. I will see you in the next video. It is sad that happened, and this is happening a lot more than we know, and people really need to become educated on what grooming is and how it affects young peoples. That being said, what is today? It's Thursday. We have been so consistent on videos. There's people in the comment section asking me, do you ever sleep? Sometimes I do. If you'd like to support the channel and what we do here and get your name at the end of my videos, consider joining the Patreon. The link will be in the pinned comment. We also have Rep Squad team jerseys coming out soon. I know I was supposed to get them out. I'm just behind a bit trying to figure out. What it really is, I need one of my friends to come over and take a cool picture of me wearing one of the team jerseys. And that's what I want to do. I want to do some really neat little photos to show off the shirts for you. Once I get that done, which should be soon, maybe this weekend, we'll have that out. And if you're interested in that, the form for that is in the pinned comment as well. And it's just a way to show that you're repping. If you're not repping, you're Greg, and how you do that, all you do is subscribe, notifications turned on. Make sure that you are subscribed to keep up with the updates on the channel. I'm going to be there. Greg the Cat's going to be there, and the rest of the Repzilla community as well. And I expect to see you there too, because this channel loves you. I love making videos. I really do. Greg, what are you doing, man? Chilling?